I played tennis when I was in high school a little bit. I joined the team with my buddies. I think it was like junior or senior year, and I was like all right at it, but like I hadn't been playing for years, and since I was towards the end of my high school career, it wasn't really worth investing in me. But I could have been a star, baby.
Hello, I'm Ryan Donato.
Hello, welcome back to another Hard Review, and we're talking about tennis. So of course we're talking about Challengers. Challengers is the new Zendaya vehicle directed by Luca Guadagnino. We also have Mike Faist and Josh O'Connor. This is a big love triangle of a movie here. We have Zendaya as this awesome tennis player, but she breaks her knee or she can't play for the rest of her life now. She meets up with these two boys, Mike Faist and Josh O'Connor, who are really good friends. They went to boarding school together and whatnot, and they played tennis as well. They were on the same team, but now they are not anymore. We do singles. They both really like Zendaya, and Zendaya kind of likes both of them. And what are we gonna do? And that's my favorite thing about this movie is I love how we know who each member of this trinity is. We know them very well. You understand who they are as a person, what they want, what their values are, how they react to things, what they want, what they need. That's the thing I love the most about how fleshed out this trinity is. Because it has you rooting for all three of these guys, kinda. I know what's best for everyone. I know what everyone wants to have happen. Everything kind of conflicts with each other because obviously the two guys like Zendaya, and Zendaya is such a tragic character as well because she's not able to play the sport that she loves, so she tries to coach these guys. I loved everything with the relationship. I loved it. It was super impactful, especially the end of this movie is such a volcanic eruption of this love triangle playing out, like finally finishing out. It's really wild to see how they wrap it up here at the end. Another thing I really want to specifically mention about this movie is I love the tennis scenes. Now, I know that's like, whoa, you're the tennis movie, you like the tennis scenes. King Richard, I actually think is underrated at this point, kind of in the same way as like Green Book is, or Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, people are mad at it because it won a big award at the Oscars, and it's like, it's still good. Like, there's a reason why it was up for the award. It's one of those things where winning an Oscar is kind of the worst thing that could happen for the image of that movie. But I remember where King Richard kind of fell apart for me was in the third act when we started playing the big tennis match, and I was like, ugh, tennis. Because tennis isn't really that, like, sexy of a sport. But here, oh my god, the tennis scenes were so cool. There were scenes where you could tell the camera was, like, set up on a person, and so you would, like, have a POV of the tennis. There's scenes where we had the POV of the racket and the ball as well. There's scenes where we're shooting from underneath, and it's like there's a glass floor, but you still see the lines of the court. It's just super well done, and it's fun, very experimental, very, like, playing around with how can we make this visually interesting. We've got you invested from an emotional standpoint. We know these characters. We understand them, who they are, what they want. We're invested in seeing how that plays out. But visually, this movie competes as well, and it's really awesome to see. Also, speaking about the visuals, what we're hearing is also great. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did the score for this movie, and it's very, like, you'll be pumped up watching this movie. You're like, oh yeah. It kind of became like a joke at a certain point, like when they hit the main score. It was like, oh, it's kind of taking forever. Okay, come on. I feel like that was kind of on purpose to, like, show the melodramaticness of these, like, sports. Like, they're so high stakes, but at the end of the day, we're just playing a fucking game, bro. I went into this movie a huge Mike Faist fan, and I came out of it a big Josh O'Connor fan. I had seen him in Emma, but I didn't, like, know him very well in depth. It's funny because I'm watching this movie and I'm like, that's a young Dennis Reynolds right there. He could play a young Glenn Howerton for sure. Just the facial structure and everything, the hair. His character connected with me more just because he was more proactive, I felt. Like, he was such a go-getter. Zendaya I've been upset with lately because of her interviews. I just think it's really lame. She did an interview for Dune Part 2. The interviewer asked her who on the Dune cast has the most Riz, and she said Tom Holland, who's not in the Dune 2 cast. And I get it, you're dating him and whatever. Be a fucking professional. Answer the fucking question. Guess what? You don't have to say Timothée Chalamet or any of the guys. You could just say it's Rebecca Ferguson, and no one's gonna have a problem with that. No one whatsoever. In fact, I recently watched a video with Tom Holland where he's being interviewed, and he was asked a question about, like, handsome celebrities. I think it was like, who's more attractive, you or them? And Timothée Chalamet was the first one they asked, and he goes, oh yeah, he's double handsome. He destroyed me in the good-looking contest or whatever. And it's like, wow, a person with humility and who's being upfront and honest. Because yes, Timothée Chalamet is so much more attractive than you, Tom. But yeah, I kind of get where Zendaya's coming from. You know, we had the whole Anyone But You thing because Glenn Powell was engaged to a woman or something, and then that fell through because of all the rumors and stuff about Anyone But You. And now they're doing another movie together, and it's like, ooh. And so now it's like there's trailers out for Zendaya kissing two hot guys, and then there's a movie, the biggest movie of the fucking year is her being in love with with Tim Cham, so it's like, I understand why you're doing some like damage control, but like also like be a fucking professional. You know what I mean? Like he's not a baby. He's not a child. He's an actor. You're an actress. These things happen. You are in movies. You have to kiss people of the opposite sex. It's called acting. But that's silly. Zendaya is obviously a great actress. I love what she did in Dune Part 2, and I like what she's doing here, except for that little like evil smile that she did. It was kind of one of those like, it reminded me of that movie Blumhouse's Truth or Dare. That's right. It's called Blumhouse's Truth or Dare. What a funny movie. It's like an evil like smirk, and that didn't work for me very much. I will say this movie's a little long. I think it's 2 hours and 10 minutes. We could probably cut a little bit of it down as well. It's funny because when the movie ended, I was like, I want to see where this keeps going. That's the sign of a great ending, but like 2 hours and 10 minutes, I mean, it kind of flew by, but like, I guess we could trim it up a little bit. Also, there's a timeline situation that's really confusing. Like we're bouncing around between like the week of this big like match at some like whatever bullshit before they go to the big open or whatever. And then we're cutting back 13 years in the past when they met and like showing the history of these people, but we're kind of spoiling things by doing that. I would love to see what this movie looks like if it was just shown linearly, when that was decided that they were going to be cutting back and forth. But it was just one of those things where I was like, okay, too much. Yeah, Challengers is a very, 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 very good movie. I wanted to do a 5, but I'm like, it's a 4. It's a 4. I'm like so desperate to give a 5 out of 5 out in 2024 because Dune Part 2 is the only one that's gotten it, and it's probably the only one that's gonna get it at this point. I'm known as the 5 out of 5 slut. I give it to so many movies. I'm a whore for cinema, baby. I can't give out another fucking 5 out of 5. I've seen like 25 fucking films this year. Don't worry, we'll get there. I'll find something stupid that I like even more than Dune Part 2, and I'm sure that'll be there. But for right now, Challengers is a 4 out of 5. That is no slight to this movie whatsoever, because I would confidently say it's my second favorite movie of the year. It was previously Ricky Stenicki or Immaculate, and now Monkey Man's kind of in that mix. I'm gonna go with Challengers as my number 2 because this movie's awesome. I really like what they do with the characters in this movie. Definitely check it out. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what your favorite tennis movie is. Thank you guys for watching. The B movie. Remember when he's playing tennis? Oh, excuse me.